Welcome to Seattle College's international programs and our show Conversations With, where we talk to people that help you understand how you too can be an international student in the United States and why Seattle Colleges should be your first choice. We'll talk to students and staff and agents and government folks, all kinds of people about what you can expect when you're getting ready to apply or travel here, what you'll experience while you're with us, and how it can all lead to an amazing life. Don't forget to check out the Seattle College's International Programs website at intl.seattlecolleges.edu, where you can find a treasure trove of information about the school, the programs here, and best of all, fill out and submit your application. Again, that's intl.seattlecolleges.edu. Hey everybody, it's Evan Franulovich with Conversations With, and we're here at the University of Oregon, dun, 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 here in Eugene, Oregon. Very exciting. I am with Alfredo, Dr. Alfredo here, who works with international programs at the University of Oregon. Oregon has a soft place in my heart. I grew up an hour from here, been on this campus so many times, and I think it's important that students at Seattle Colleges consider the University of Oregon, and he's going to tell you all about it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Evan. I am excited to be here, as you can tell.
Yeah.
We're really anxious to talk about transfer students. We love our transfer students. We love our transfer students from Seattle Colleges. So I'm really excited to give you any information you want. Please.
Yeah. Well, transferring is the big thing on the agenda today, because when you start at a community college, whether it's Seattle Colleges or some other community college, you do a couple years, you get your associate's degree, and then you transfer here to the University of Oregon. Why would I want to bother doing that? Well, I mean, I could just stay in Seattle and go to UW. Why would I want to come to the U of O?
Well, hey, nothing against UW. Well, a lot of things against UW. But University of Oregon, we are a top 50 public university, nationally ranked in the top 100. Wonderful location. We're going to talk about the transfer process. We even got some scholarships that transfer students can apply for. So a lot of great things, and you got me. So.
They are. You have a pretty good sized staff, actually. So a lot of support for international students.
Yes, a lot of support for international students. So we have our admissions counselors who are here to provide support throughout the process. You need help with your application. You need help understanding what you need to do. You have questions, you can always reach out to us. We're just a phone call or Zoom meeting away. We answer our emails, right away. So we're there for you throughout the whole process. We have our international student services. Once you get to campus, they're going to provide support for you with your visa, with your onboarding, with just finding a place here. We have our transfer academic advisor, brand new position. They're going to help you to understand what you need to do to get the degree you want in the quickest amount of time after you transfer. The faculty are marvelous. I keep hearing wonderful things about our faculty providing support for our students. We have other great services, whether you need help. We have our health service center right across the way here. We have support for every type of student, clubs, activities, whoever you are, however you identify, you're going to find a home here.
That's great. Well, so many things you said there bring up so many questions. So first of all, you said you have a new transfer advisor.
Yes.
So the name of that person? So
Scott Broussard. And as soon as you complete the application, we can help you make that connection.
Cool.
He's going to need to see your official transcripts from Seattle colleges,
right,
so that he can begin to review that and give you a nice pathway, a nice path to your final bachelor's degree.
Right.
So he'll look at the courses you've taken, he'll see what you want to do, and he'll tell you what you need to do to get there. Now, if you don't want to wait until you submitted your application and kind of begin to get an idea of what your pathway might look like, we do have a great website. It's called Transferology. Okay, you can go there, plug in your courses, and see how they would count, how many credits you're going to get, what they would count as here at the University of Oregon, and kind of get an idea of what's going to transfer in, how it's going to transfer in, how it might count towards your general ed requirements, if any of the courses might count towards your academic degree. So that will give you a pretty rough idea of where you're headed. But once you get the application in, once we have a copy of your official transcript, then Scott's going to sit down with you and help plan out your degree program.
And the nice thing at Seattle College is we have transfer advisors as well. So if you're thinking about the University of Oregon, as you should, we can help you connect to all of those things. We'll have Scott's name and contact information. They'll have Transferology, right?
Yes.
That they can help you get on. So yeah, lots of support on both ends. And the other nice thing about Eugene from Seattle is, like, I came down yesterday on Amtrak. So you can catch the train at King Station at 7:20 in the morning and be here by 1:50. Oh. So you can come down for the day, set up a tour with Alfredo or any of your staff, I'm guessing.
That's right.
They have a beautiful, I just went over and looked at the Welcome Center. It's a beautiful building. And you can, and if they're not there, they even have self-guided tours, which is really great. So
yeah. No, I wish it was today's Veterans Day, by the way.
Hey,
so
veterans.
Evan's veteran. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're kind of closed, kind of open, but I wish we could have seen the Veterans Center.
It's really nice.
We're going to go around and take some pictures, right?
Yeah, sure,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
you can throw those in there. We'll see some different places on campus. So we got a lot of support here for our transfer students, a lot of great opportunities here. By the way, you were asking me earlier why to come to UO. Well, I got to mention our athletics.
For sure.
We are a Division I.
Go Ducks.
Our athletic team, Go Ducks.
Yes.
This is our mascot. We have great football team, women's basketball, women's volleyball, men's basketball. A lot of great teams. Now, I know as a transfer student, you're probably not going to join one of our athletic teams, but I got to tell you, it's just a great part of the student experience to go see a game, hang out in the stands, dance with everybody at the end of the third quarter. Really, really just an opportunity to be part of a great community. I think that's the word that keeps coming back to me when I talk to students. We have a wonderful community of students. We're about 20,000 students total, 22 with our graduate school. And I will tell you, the students that I talk to, the international students that I talk to, they say, they just feel welcome here. They really feel part of a family. They find their place. They find somewhere, it's just the right size. It's not too big, so they get lost and they feel like, they're just a number. And it's not too small, so they have lots of opportunities to network and meet people from all around the world and from many different places. So, we're just a great community, and I hope that you will consider being a part of it.
Yeah, it's a really international little town. I mean, Eugene, Oregon's about 170,000 people, I think I saw on the sign.
Well, the sign's outdated. I think
okay.
last I saw, we're about 250.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, does that include Springfield?
No, I think that's Lane County.
Oh, that's just Lincoln. Okay.
Yeah. So, greater Eugene, but Lane County, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I like the fact that you say you don't get lost here. It's got a small town feel, but it has everything you need. That's really nice. And honestly, we're super close to Portland and Salem, so there's other places not too far down the valley.
That's right. Yeah. We're if you're thinking about access, we're less than an hour flight from San Francisco. So a lot of students fly into San Francisco, come up here. They're here, less than an hour later. And then we're 15 minutes from the airport.
Right.
So a lot of great access.
So when your international students do come in, do they generally come through Portland and then bus down or train down, or do they just fly directly into Eugene?
It depends. A lot of them, I think they think Portland's the way to go. But I'll tell you, the best way to go, San Francisco, Eugene, Chicago, Eugene, Denver, Eugene.
And those are all direct?
LA, Eugene, yeah. Direct flights from all those major hubs. Mm-hmm. And then from Eugene, again, 10, 15-minute drive, taxi, or a friend picking you up, or one of us, and you're here on campus.
Right. Okay, so let's go back to the transfer thing. One of the things you mentioned was transfer scholarships. When I talk to students about Seattle colleges, they're interested in community colleges because of the affordability. So they get a good start there at a low price, but then they got to move on. They got to go get their junior and senior year finished. You guys offer transfer scholarships.
We do. We offer, well, they're not specifically for transfer students.
Oh, they're not?
Okay. No, but they are available to transfer students. All right. Okay. So first of all, I do want to emphasize, you as a transfer student, you kind of already given yourself a big scholarship.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, you've cut the cost of your entire academic career by attending Seattle colleges for 2 years.
Right.
So, that in of itself, a huge scholarship. Mm-hmm. Gives you an opportunity to get acclimated to the United States, maybe even work on campus for a couple of years, maybe even do some OPT. Mm-hmm. So you're building up a lot of momentum here in terms of your financial health. Okay? So when you come to the University of Oregon, as you're applying, you need to ask about the International Cultural Service Program, or ICSP. Okay? This is a special scholarship you have to apply for separately as you're completing the admission scholarship. Okay? And you want to make sure you ask about that early in the process. Okay? So, because the deadlines for that are February. Okay?
Oh, okay.
And if you want to access that scholarship from your first year here, you want to do that at the same time as you're doing the application.
Right.
So you start your application, ask for access to the application, to the scholarship portal, and look for the International Cultural Service Program. You can get up to $25,000 scholarship. Oh. Yeah, big money.
Yeah.
You do a separate application. You're going to do an essay. You're going to put together. The purpose of the scholarship is to find students who are willing to share their own background with our community. We talked about community. So we want students who are going to do some kind of service in Eugene, here at the university. They might do presentations to clubs, student groups, within high schools and elementary schools, talking about where they came from, talking about their journey to the University of Oregon. And in exchange, you get, a nice little scholarship. Sometimes you get to work in offices. Sometimes you get to work at missions. So there's lots of opportunities to provide service for the community and the University of Oregon. So that's a great opportunity. There are also additional scholarships in that scholarship portal. Some of them are available to transfer students. Some are specific to students from certain countries. We have scholarships for students from Thailand, Turkey, Japan, different regions, Middle East, Asia. So look for those as well. You want to apply for those in addition. And they are competitive, but, it's worth taking that chance on getting those scholarships.
So when you say it's competitive, is it based a lot on their grades, their academic performance? Is it based on what they've done in the community they are coming from? I mean, how do they judge?
All of the above.
All of the above.
All of the above. So there are certain minimum requirements. We're going to, look at the GPA as a starting point, but we're going to want to hear about your background. Right. If you're doing things at Seattle colleges that kind of fit into that profile, please tell us about it. We have a lot of students from community colleges who are awarded the scholarship because, they've been, international school or International Student Association president or an officer in the International Student Association, or they've participated in some events or done community work already. Right. So if they're active, it's great. It's got a great opportunity to do more of that kind of work here at the University of Oregon.
Yeah, we encourage all of our international students when they get there, don't be shy, get involved with international ambassador, student leadership, join some clubs, or if they don't have the club that you want, start one. We have a number of students that just come up with things that they want to do, and they'll just get it started.
And that's exactly what we're looking
really cool.
for. Yes.
Do you have international students working within your office?
We have. We had a great student, Andy. She was marvelous. She just graduated with a degree in business, one of our more popular degrees with international students. But she graduated last spring. I'm so sad to see her go. She was a great help in helping us communicate with our Chinese student population. Right. She helped set up some of our social media. We have an official WeChat account. We have a web page all in Chinese that's based in China. So she did a lot of great work for us. I think... we were looking for somebody else to come and work in our office. So if you're interested in coming to the University of Oregon, please ask about opportunities here in our office. If you're an international student, I would love to have another international student work here.
Right.
But we do have counselors from all over the world. Peru, Mexico. I lived for 10 years in Japan. So we do have a very international perspective.
You were also in Ghana, right?
I also lived in Ghana for a year and a half. So that it kind of fits. Right?
Cool. Were you an international student in Ghana?
No. I went. Kind of. Yeah, actually, you know what? Okay. I was because I was in graduate school.
Okay.
And I went to Ghana to kind of do some research at the graduate level. Nice. So I wasn't attending a school, but I was there as a student. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So how many? They want to probably know how many international students you have here, and where are the top 3 countries? We get a lot of students from Japan and China. Obviously, India is growing all the time. So where are you getting most of your students from, and how many do you have?
We have about a little over 2,000
students.
My gosh. Yeah.
That's
so
great.
so yeah, we're somewhere between 5 and 8% of our student population is from somewhere international.
Wow.
We get a lot of students from China, South Asia. We get students from West Africa. We've gotten some great students last year. We got students from Sierra Leone and Rwanda. So not your usual suspects. So we get a lot of students from really interesting places.
Yeah.
The UK, Canada, of course. India is also a big market for us.
Sure.
So really diverse student population.
Yeah. I always like looking to see where the countries that they're coming from. We have a student from Eswatini. I'm like,
oh yeah,
who comes from Eswatini?
That's we've heard from there. We actually, I think we're going to have an applicant from there because I've been working with somebody at one of the schools there. So.
Okay. We were in South Africa together.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you go to Johannesburg to do that?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
See, I skipped it. I went straight to Kenya.
Okay.
I should have stayed in South Africa, but I had a couple of meetings I had to go to. Okay. Right on. So there's a couple of things. You'd mentioned business is one of the big programs here. is there anything special they need to know if they do they have to apply to the School of Business, or can they just transfer here, take business? How does it work?
So yeah, they can transfer directly into the School of Business.
Okay.
For first year students, a little different, but what you do want to have a little bit higher GPA. So our general GPA requirements for transfer students, and I know we can talk about this more later, but it's important to kind of highlight now.
Yeah.
You only really need a 2.5 GPA to transfer in. Okay. But for business students, it's better to have a 3.0 or above, because then that'll get you right into the business school. Okay. If you're on the borderline or below that, they may ask you to do a quarter as a pre-business major to make sure that you're up to snuff and you're going to succeed. Right. And that's really the main thing. We want to make sure that you're successful here. Okay, right. No sense you coming and really struggling. So,
right.
So 3.0 GPA. Take some business classes in your first couple of years, not too much because you'll have to take your business classes here. Think about what you want to do. Do you want to do business administration? Do you want to do accounting? Do you want to do sports management, marketing, and apply for that directly?
Okay. And one of the other schools I know that's big here at the U of O is the journalism school. Yes. And you do have international students in that school?
Absolutely. We have some great international students in our School of Journalism, including I was in Indonesia last year, and this woman comes up and starts talking to me, and she says, "Hey, I went to the University of Oregon," and I was like, "Oh, great, you're a duck," and then she says, "I graduated from the School of Journalism," and I said, "Oh, that's wonderful."
That's amazing.
And then I said, "So what are you doing now?" She says, I'm executive director for CNN here in Indonesia.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm executive producer, So she's in charge of CNN in Indonesia, and she's a duck. She graduated from our School of Journalism, and we're really, really proud of this woman. Yeah. And we have people like that all over the world. The former Minister of Education in Vietnam graduated of the University of Oregon.
Wow.
Yes. The recently retired Prime Minister of Sri Lanka was he didn't retire.
Okay.
But anyway, he was from the University of Oregon, and he's fine. He's just was asked to step. He was asked by the opposing party to step down.
Please go on.
Okay. Yes.
I understand.
Anyway, and but we have a lot of people in really prominent places who have great careers here at the University of Oregon, and then go on to do great things around the world. Right. So, we had a transfer student, not from Seattle colleges, unfortunately, but he came here and he was doing an internship in Washington, D.C. with one of our state senators.
Oh, wow.
So, great opportunities for transfer students, international students. He also was awarded one of these International Cultural Service Program scholarships.
Wow.
So just because you're a transfer student, just because you're an international student, doesn't mean you don't have a lot of opportunities here.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. He didn't come from Seattle colleges, but remember, if you're listening to the show, I do this show hopefully just to give good information about going to school in the United States. Hopefully you'll come to Seattle colleges or U of O or wherever. But, I just want good information. There are 4,000 community colleges around the country, so they're happy to take you from wherever you end up going, whether it's Lane Community College, Seattle colleges, Shoreline, Valencia College, whatever. Yeah, you're welcome here for sure.
Well, you're really generous. Saying that. I think because I'll tell you, one of the most important things about choosing where you want to go is you want to make sure that the people there care, and you have somebody that you can connect with.
Yeah,
I think especially for international students, they're traveling halfway around the world, and you want to make sure that the people on the ground who are going to be there care, They're going to be responsive. And so, you know, Evan's just one of the greatest people I know.
Thank you so much. And we don't even know each other very well. More and more all the time.
More and more all the time. But he's dedicated. He does this podcast because he wants to get the good word out. So, you know, that says a lot about Seattle colleges.
Well, you know, sometimes when you go to these fairs, like we were just in West Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, and Cote d'Ivoire. Oh, he's going to... Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yes. That's great. You got this made, right?
I didn't get it made.
Oh, you didn't get it made.
But it was just there in Ghana. I went to this shop in Ghana, and they had this. And, of course, it's UO colors.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had to pick it up.
And he wore it during the fairs.
Yes.
But during these fairs, you know, we have all these kids standing around our table, and we don't always get to have a really good conversation with everybody. So I'm hoping this podcast will give you the chance to really listen to some of this information if you didn't get it from us when you're standing at our tables in one of these countries that we're in. Do you do Latin America too?
I don't do Latin America. I have a team.
Okay.
So one of my colleagues who works on my team and is an international admissions counselor, he goes to Latin America. He'll go to the Middle East. He goes to South Asia. I have another member of the team, Ashley. You met Ashley. You met Lorenzo. So too also.
Yep.
So Ashley's the third member of our team, and she goes to Canada, Western Europe. She also works here in the U.S. With our community college partners.
Right.
So you'll probably see her at Seattle Community Colleges.
Yeah.
She works with our local high schools here. A lot of boarding schools here have nice populations of international schools, so she visits them, you know, works with them to bring those international students here. So, yeah, we get students from all over the place.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, and one of the things I love about Eugene, and you could talk about maybe some of the highlights for students, like what they can do in their spare time. I mean, obviously we have a great sports program here. There's a lot of activities on campus, but the areas around, like I grew up in Florence, which is just 45 minutes to an hour from here. Great place to go. There's sand dunes, that stuff. What else would you recommend to international students, or what would you say, this is a really compelling reason to come to Eugene? Like, what can they do?
Well, on campus, we have great housing facilities. I mean, really.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about
We just
housing.
opened up 3 new dorms in the last 2 years. Really great housing. In fact, we're having trouble getting students to move off campus after the first year.
Really?
We do ask students to live on campus the first year.
Okay.
But now they want to stay on campus for 2, 3, 4 years.
Does that include transfer students? Are they required to stay in the house?
No. Transfer students do not have to live on campus, but they can.
Okay.
They need to tell us they want to live on campus. And I know a lot of international students, they do find it convenient.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
there's that
absolutely.
option. You can live on campus. Transfer students can live off campus. You know somebody, you want to get a couple of roommates, that's sometimes a less expensive option. You can cook for yourself, which brings me to the second thing, food.
Yeah.
Food here on campus is amazing, okay?
It is really amazing, actually.
And because if you head out 30 minutes in any direction, you're going to end up in farmland. So lots of opportunities. We source all our ingredients locally from these farms around campus.
That's cool.
In the area. So all the food is fresh, it's natural, it's healthy, and it tastes really good.
Right.
Finally, on campus, all our food staff are hired by the University of Oregon. Yeah, because some places they hire these big food service organizations. They work for these big food service organizations, and it's a little different. Here, they work for U of O. They work for our students, so they're dedicated to really providing the best food they can for our students. But you go off campus, we got food from all around the world.
That's true. Yeah.
You know. There's
Asian markets,
food from West Africa, great Chinese restaurant, great little Japanese restaurant, Indian places. There's a great shawarma restaurant just down the street. So lots and lots of great opportunities.
But if they live in the dorms, then do you guys offer like a food plan? What do they use?
Yeah,
Get a card or
there's
something?
There's a meal plan, so they can use their student ID. They can swipe it. They get a certain number on there. They can also eat at a lot of different outside vendors. We have 4 Starbucks on campus. We have
really?
Chipotle. We have Burger Place.
We don't have one on our campus, and we're in Seattle. That's so crazy.
We have a great pizza place. So sushi.
Tracktown Pizza. Check it out.
Tracktown Pizza just down the road here. Yeah. Yes. Whatever you want to eat, whether you're cooking for yourself, whether you're, going out with friends, lots of opportunity to get food from around the world, or just great Oregon wings, hamburgers, burgers, pizza, whatever.
Yeah. So when we talked, going back just a second, when we talked about applying, I don't remember if you said when they need to apply by, because I know our transfer students, or at least Seattle College students that are getting ready to transfer, I mean, some of them have planners where they just have all the dates written down. Like, I know, like one girl I was talking to, she took a quarter off just to make her applications. So when do they need to get their application in?
Well, it depends which term, okay?
Okay.
So the applications open a little bit differently, a little different schedule than for first-year students.
Okay.
So if you're a first-year student, you start applying in August.
Okay.
But if you're a transfer student,
right.
And you want to apply for the winter term, because we're on a quarter system like Seattle colleges.
Yep.
If you want to apply for the winter term, you can apply as early as August or September for that January. Okay. You want to apply for the spring term, I think it's October. And if you want to apply for the next fall term, it opens up late November, early December. Okay.
For the following year.
For the following year, yeah.
Oh, so a year out they can start
applying.
applying.
You can start applying. And again, the reason we do that for the fall term is because you want to get your application in. We know some of your courses are still going to be in progress, and that's fine. But as long as you've completed your first year at Seattle colleges, you have, 36 credits 1 year? 20.
3 quarters, so 36 probably. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as long as you have that under your belt, you can start your application, even if you're going to do another 2 terms. But then that gives you the opportunity to apply for these scholarships.
Right.
Because that deadline's in early February.
Yeah.
You want to get that application in, because otherwise, if you miss that and you don't get those scholarships, you're going to have to wait a full year. And by the way, you can't apply for those every year. You don't get it the first year, you can apply for it the second.
Oh, that's good to know.
So, but, you want to give it your best shot that first year.
Right. Yeah. And then after they get their bachelor's degree, of course, they can stay. You have graduate programs. I don't usually talk about graduate programs too much, but you guys have a graduate school here. What kind of graduate programs?
We have graduate school programs across the board. Business, MBA, advertising, education. You want to be a teacher, special education. You want to get a degree in educational management, leadership. We have sciences, biology, chemistry. Right outside the window here, we have our brand new building, the Night Campus, we call it. It's going to be 3 new buildings dedicated to scientific research and innovation, named after Phil Knight. Okay, Phil Knight is a graduate of the University of Oregon. He graduated from our business school, and if you don't know, he started Nike shoes. Okay, he's been very generous. These 3 buildings are going up with a donation from Phil Knight, $1 billion with a B, US dollars to build 3 new buildings. Not a sports stadium, not a Nike store, but a brand new buildings full of labs and technology and great opportunities for both our undergraduate and graduate students to do research.
That's pretty amazing.
Create new products, do great new things over there, and it's a great, beautiful, beautiful building. Wonderful facilities. So lots of great graduate programs you can do here. Go to law school. Do pretty much anything that you can imagine. Everything from volcanology, earthquake studies, to business management, sports management, education, psychology, whatever you want to do.
And we talked a little bit before we started recording about the law school here.
Yes.
Oregon has a law school. When I'm at the education fairs in Africa or Latin America, I have a lot of students ask about law because they're interested. Do you want to talk just a second about how they can apply?
We have some great opportunities. We do have students doing the law program. They get what's called an LLM degree, which permits them to practice, or depending on their country of origin, overseas. But we also have a great opportunity. It's a little difficult for transfer students, or a little different for transfer students, but they can still apply for our 6-year law degree program. So they come here in their 3rd year, which you would come in. You would start taking some law courses, and then in your 4th year, if you're successful, you can transfer right into the law school.
So before they even have their bachelor's degree?
Yes, before they even have their bachelor's degree, they can start taking law degree courses and finish their law degree in 4 years after they come here. So 6 years total. So
I did not know that. Yeah. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so it's a great opportunity. But again, even if you don't do that program, you can graduate and then apply to our law school.
Right.
Okay, and go finish the law degree. Great. We are the best law school in Oregon. And it's a great opportunity for international students, whether they want to get a law degree, get the regular law degree, or get the LLM law degree.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're already at 35 minutes. It goes really fast, right?
Yes.
So I always like to give you, my guests, an opportunity for final advice. So, and the thing about it is you get to meet people all the time. He travels a lot. I see him out on the road a lot.
Well, you too.
Well, no, I don't think as much as you. But the thing of it is we get the same questions often. So is there one question in your mind that you want students to know about, or some advice you want to give them that you hear all the time? Like, you get the same question over and over.
First of all, it's time for another costume
change. Another costume change.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Hey! No. Great swag here at U of O.
We have a football game tomorrow night. So
it's a big one, too.
Big one. Big game.
Super important.
Yeah, super important. Anyway.
Hope we destroy USC.
I do want to just make sure we go over the transfer requirements.
Yes. Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
So the general transfer requirements are, in order to begin your application, you need at least 1 full year of your work at a community college like Seattle colleges.
Good to know.
We want you to take, we do have an English language program, but most of you won't need this, but it does, let me talk about our English language requirements. Please take that first year of your college level English at Seattle colleges or other community college, because then you don't have to worry about your English language requirement here.
For sure.
We want you to get at least a C or better in that. Again, I mentioned we want you to have at least a 2.5 GPA or above. Some majors are a little different, like business. So if you have a question about that, reach out to us. And pretty much that's it for the general transfer requirements.
Is there an application fee?
There is an application fee. It's $75.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we can't waive that for our international students, so I'm sorry. And apply early, okay? Find out which term, because some students, because they started a different term, or they're off cycle, or they did an extra term at Seattle colleges, you can come in fall, winter, or spring. So don't think just because you're finishing up in January at Seattle colleges that you have to wait until fall.
Right.
You can come in January and start here. So, be mindful of the deadlines.
Right.
Stay in touch with your admissions counselor, and I know sometimes students also, they're in the process. They come, they go 2 years, and for whatever reason they have the opportunity to apply for a green card or citizenship. So ask us those types of questions too.
Sure.
Okay, make sure you communicate what your needs are, because everybody's so different. We run into so many different questions and situations. I think the main thing is to stay in touch and don't be afraid to ask those questions. One last thing before we go. I am going to give Evan a couple of swag bags.
Nice.
Okay. They're going to be a swag bag.
Love it.
Have a duck fan.
Yes.
Have one of our banners in there. Okay.
Big Oregon fan.
And Evan's going to get 2 of these. And the first 2 students that apply to the University of Oregon are going to get this. He's going to
got
get
it.
Okay. So
thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I've got a question. I was just going to ask you.
Sorry.
No. I don't remember. Dang it.
Okay.
That's right. It'll come to me later.
Okay. Well, we covered. Okay.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground, so.
Yeah.
Oh, just come down. Come do a tour.
Please.
It's really not that far away.
We have tours scheduled every day.
Oh, I know what my question was.
What?
My question was, if a student does their 2 years, gets their associate's degree, and they want to do their year of OPT in Seattle, does that have an impact on their application at all? Or that
No.
extra year?
That's a great plan because, again, you get to build up a little financial health.
Right.
And it gives you that space to do your application for U of O.
Okay.
So no, it doesn't affect
So don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Do your OPT, take advantage of that, especially if you do get the associate's degree. Come here, you get your bachelor's, you get to do OPT again.
Right. And do you guys assist them in applying to businesses in the area for their
We have a
OPT?
great career services office.
Oh, great. Okay.
So you can do internships while you're a student here. They will help prepare your resume, prepare for interviews. They'll tell you how to find job opportunities. They have job fairs here where employers come from around the area and around the country to hire our students, to hire our ducks. We have a great relationship with Nike Shoes.
I'll bet they have a good
Google, Apple, all these great companies that are here in the Pacific Northwest coast.
Yeah.
So, whether you want to do advertising or business or computer science, you're going to find the opportunities to work, do internships, and find a job after you graduate.
All right, I think that brings us to the end. Thanks so much for your time today.
Hey, Evan, thank you
so
for
great.
inviting me. This has been a great opportunity. I love just coming in and talking to you. And, anybody want to reach out, Evan will have our contact information. We look forward to hearing from you. And, like.
All right, go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
Bye-bye.
Go Ducks.
Conversations With is painstakingly crafted for you by the Seattle College's International Programs Department and supported by the lovely folks here on our campus. This show is produced and edited by me, Evan Franulovich. We welcome your emails and questions about coming to Seattle Colleges. Please reach out to us via our website or just give us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts, as this helps others discover the show. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube at Seattle Colleges INTL. That's Seattle Colleges INTL. And be sure to check out all of the shows here on Conversations With. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.